Heyo! Welcome back to Potateaux. I'm the Potateaux.
And I'm Sweet Potato.
And we're your favorite commentators. You feeling a little better this week?
Yeah, I don't know. Something just happened.
A little, got your voice back a little more,
Yep.
Okay. Well, Power, Season 5, Episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
And this, like, they're not giving a lot of action this season. I'm going to be honest about that because I saw somebody was like, yeah, Power, I hope they have more action in the next episode. Like, y'all want people to die that bad?
Well, it's just they've set the tone for that.
I feel you, but I always saw Power as it wasn't like the action, but what was going on behind the action.
Right.
So that's how I was kind of, felt about it. But
I mean, the only thing I'm concerned about is the fact that this was episode 3, and typically by episode 5 we get a death of somebody that's like a major character. So I don't even know who that would be at this point because they haven't put things. I don't know. They haven't put too much in motion.
It hadn't felt like
to
nobody
justify
was gonna die yet.
Yeah, to justify that. So we'll see.
Well, this episode was very. I feel like when they're not giving us a lot of like action, they're doing things to kind of push the story forward. So I really haven't felt like this was like a stall. That like whenever there's not like a lot of deaths. When people die, I feel like it's wrapping up or bringing things to a conclusion, like a part to a conclusion to set up another part. But right now, it seems like they're just pushing toward the tension toward everything that's going on a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of jump right in. Of course, we're going to start with the St. Patrick's and, just kind of reflect on some of the stuff that happened last episode that has to do with this episode.
Okay.
So of course, the last scene, it didn't cut like it's paying right off immediately in this episode. They're not dragging it out.
No, yeah, and I knew that was coming.
Right. This time Tasha went back to the support group by herself.
Yep.
And the guy that was telling the story about his child being killed by the drunk driver, they were like, he's dead now. But the wife is like, that's not going to bring our child back.
And he said that the police suspect him, and he was like, he understands why, because if anybody wanted the man dead, it was him. And literally, I had been thinking about that all week leading up to this episode. I was like, they got one of two ways that this could go. It's going to be the cops feel like the dad of the child who got killed by the drunk driver did it, or the group would suspect James or Tasha for doing it because it was the first time they were in the group.
Right.
James St. Patrick was already in jail for criminal activity. Even though he got acquitted, you still, you know what I'm saying? Once you go to jail, people are going to look at you like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and now, it's just
and then he wasn't there at the meeting, so it's like, you heard this and then dipped. So,
but the key part I feel like out of that scene was the mom was crying and she was like, you would think that I would feel better, but I don't, because this don't bring my child back. Yeah. And I feel like that rang true with Tasha, and I feel like that's the main part that they need to understand, because Ghost is like, we're gonna feel better after Dre is dead, and she's like, I'm never gonna feel better.
Right.
So Tasha already knew, but like now she really knows that she's not gonna feel better because she can see this other woman don't feel better.
Right.
So
and it's just not working. Like, that doesn't work because you don't have that child back. So it's just, those feelings are never gonna go away as long as that child isn't there.
Yeah, and a critique that I have right quick, sorry, of Notorious, girl, learn how to cry. I'm sorry, you gotta learn how to cry, because no, it's not working. It's not working. You're not emoting enough emotion for me. They had, because I feel like I'm an emotional person anyway, but I have a child. He's not dead, but I can imagine if that was to happen and I could cry right now. You know what I'm saying? And then so in that scene with the other parents, she really got outshined in terms of previous episodes, because This lady was bawling.
What? Yeah.
She was bawling. Okay? And Tasha couldn't even cry in the scene with her. If he was to even well up a tear, I'ma start crying. Because you just be emotionally connected with people.
Right.
So that, you know, cry. Learn how to cry. That's it.
With James has, you know, he's recuperating from what happened with Councilman Tate in the last episode. He's starting to not trust him as much.
Before that, though, he, in the opening scene, he was washing his face in the sink, and then he looked back down, and he had blood on his hands, and I'm like, James starting to crack.
Yeah.
I don't know who blood he saw. I don't know if it was the man that he just stabbed up. Is it his daughter's blood? It was very symbolic, but I just didn't know who it was. He can kill so many damn people.
True. There might be a little drop of blood from everybody that he's killed in his life.
Possibly.
It could just be the murder from the last episode.
Yeah.
Goes off the chain right now.
Yeah, so. he cracking it.
Yeah. He had a meeting with Councilman Tate and Fancy from the Jamie Foxx show.
Fancy. I don't even know what her name was on here because that's just her name.
Yeah, this is Fancy because I don't recall her
name. Garcelle Bove. We should know because we from Louisiana. That's a shame. Anyway.
Man, she been Fancy. It's Fancy. Right. And she was an investor. And of course in the meeting that they had with Councilman Tate, she was out. She wasn't feeling it. And Councilman Tate and Ghost had like a small exchange because they were like, he was like, Councilman Tate feels like Ghost kind of ruined it, and then Ghost is like, no, you ruined this, I'll handle it. Councilman Tate like, you could just take a few days off. He's obviously feeling like he can't control Ghost as much as he was. And
Ghost is being more snappy with him now.
Yeah, like
he's getting tired of him.
Just to continue on to wrap up that whole story. He met up with Fancy on another day, and they had dinner, and then later on, had coffee. For all my people that watch Luke Cage.
They might not. So what does that mean?
It ain't nothing but black people that watch it, so you know what coffee mean.
They had sex because I feel like everybody don't watch Luke Cage.
Come on now. You watch Luke Cage, but. Yeah, we finally got to see Fancy in the sex scene because I don't recall her ever being in one in her whole career. I'm gonna look that up, you know. So we got to see Fancy get the fake cake smashed.
I just was like, she ain't never banged Jamie Foxx, but she banged this Jamie though. So.
Yeah, she got a Jamie fetish.
Yeah.
But after that, Ghost, you know, feeling like that dude, feeling like he ended up winning over the investment. But the thing is, if you can't see the money, then the money don't exist.
Right.
So with that being said, once he meets back up with Councilman Tate just pretty much let him know that she played him.
Right. She thought that you were unprofessional, then you had sex with her,
and they proved that you were unprofessional.
So boom, there it is.
Yeah, so, I mean, that just lets you know everything can be accomplished with dropping Fancy's pants.
No, and he was and then Ghost was calling Angela after he had sex with her. Like, bruh, leave that girl alone. Leave her alone.
He turned into a bugaboo, man.
Yeah, like, it's annoying.
Going back to Tasha. Tasha is still trying to find out what Tariq knows. Like, that's the funniest thing to me because Tariq is still lying. Like, he still doesn't want to tell, like, fully what happened for whatever reason. And it's like, nigga, y'all got the cops after y'all. You might have some hood niggas after you for whatever reason. So it's like, why not put at least the information out there to make sure that at least you don't die. If you don't care about the rest of your people, at least make sure that there's enough information out there to make sure that you don't die. So there's an investigator that comes over and he's asking Tariq some questions. Tariq doesn't answer him fully. He just, you know, gives his little bullshit.
Well, he lied about the answer, but he couldn't tell the truth either.
Yeah, but it's just like, he doesn't give, in my opinion, when you bullshit, you just give a bad answer. So you don't even give anything that could just make somebody say, oh, well, I feel bad for the kid, so I'm just leave him alone. everything that he be saying to these people just always sounds sketchy to me because they sound like something that he never even thought of trying to say. It's like, I don't know.
And with that,
I don't know, don't help, bro.
With that detective coming, it was because of the freaking press conference because somebody called and said, "Oh, hey, yeah, I saw Tariq outside whenever, you know, Raina was outside and she chased him outside." And the man was like, "Well, you said that you chased her outside. So, like, which one is it?"
Right.
So the tip line is already causing problems.
But I can't tell if that's Tariq's fault or if that's Ghost and Tasha's fault.
It's Ghost and Tasha's fault.
Because they're not even trying to get his story all the way together so he don't have to switch up what he's saying. And
but it's Ghost and Tasha problem too because they should have never did the press conference.
I mean, yeah, they could have just walked out.
They could have.
Next, because this is the funniest scene because I mean it just play off of what everybody has been saying. Tasha goes over to Tommy's apartment to try to find Tommy to talk to him because I mean she knows that Ghost killed someone and it's just pretty much like he's becoming reckless, so you need to stay on him. And Kanan pops up and it was just the most heated, calm kind of exchange because it was not like it was just tense because it's like you could tell. As we've all been saying, you could tell there's something going on or had happened between them.
Right.
And like
they got very rapey.
Yeah, and just that conversation, it was just still very creepy. Obviously, Kanan is attracted to her. Yeah. And obviously he's been attracted to her because all the way back in season 2, you've been wanting to know the play-by-play from Sean. And it's just very creepy. So
yeah, but they finally gave Tasha a good line. Cause she told him, if you try to fuck with me, you better kill me, nigga. Because I'm gonna get your ass back. And that's some shit that I be saying. So that was like, that's a good line, girl. That's good.
So pretty much after she, you know, like Tommy shows up and he's like, he senses like that tension, like cause Tasha was like highly upset when she left.
She said, "Fuck you, Kanan, and fuck you too, Tommy, because you fucking with him."
Yeah. So once he goes down, he tries to reassure her that you know this is only a temporary thing, which we'll get to why it's not a temporary thing a little bit later. But yeah, so that the fact that Tommy is not just pushing Kanan out of the business and out of their business, that's going to cause even more problems between Tommy, Ghost, and Tasha. So we're definitely going to see that play out a little bit more. That was very interesting how that was going on. And to wrap it up pretty much for the St. Patrick's at the end, Tasha was taking Tariq to the school, the boarding school, and Keisha had already told Tasha that, you know, y'all have been lying to these kids for a very long time. So all you can expect for these kids to do is to lie pretty much. Like, they don't even know who you guys are. So how can you expect them to, like, be or reveal who they really are to you? So once they get out there, Tasha just pretty much, well, she doesn't just straight out tell them, but she tells them, like, we came from the hood. We had to sell drugs to, you know, build a better life for you guys, you know, to want a better life. We didn't want y'all to have to go through what we had to. We didn't feel like we had to tell y'all because we didn't feel like y'all would ever have to make the same type of decisions that we had to make. We didn't try to hide it from you. We just hoped you would never have to really know or have to deal with the type of things that we did. So her kind of telling him and breaking that down to him just kind of made him open up and express a little bit. Like, he didn't fully tell what happened, but he admitted to being out there when Raina got killed,
her die,
and watching her die, and you know, not basically just not protecting her, and just, you know, he filled in like, she ran out after me and stuff like that, but he's still, of course, missing so many details.
So many. And then they embraced, and neither one of them could cry, which is bothering me. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, it's bothering me, but okay.
So going to Tommy. Tommy has his story is more tied in with Teresi today. So Teresi got a visit from Mock and the other guy, Bailey, whatever the hell his name is, unimportant name. We never can remember his name. But yeah, and you know they basically gave him a deal because Teresi sent his lawyer away. So yeah, they come in to tell him like we've been tracking down, you've been talking to Tommy, and y'all two have to be related because out of nowhere he's never had a father, and all of a sudden he's just talking to this guy in prison.
Right.
So that has to be our connection. So and all of a sudden Teresa starts laughing like the Joker.
Ass off.
And it's like in his mind he's been playing them to get them to recognize him.
Right. And he was like, I've been putting out all the pieces for y'all and y'all never got it. But then I had to get my lawyer to file whatever the thing is for y'all to show up.
And you know, basically saying like he's been building a relationship with Tommy because he knows that's somebody that they want. Now the thing is, like, Teresi is in the mob. He's a made man. They don't snitch, you know, and it's even reconfirmed later. Like when you're a made man, snitching is like that's the biggest cardinal sin of being in the mob. So, you know, and he even says in the beginning like I ain't no snitch. Right. So it's like, is Teresi playing them at the end of the day?
Is he like playing Tommy or is he playing the feds? You know, and I feel like I don't want Teresi to be a snitch. Yeah, so I want him to be playing the feds, and it's just like, oh well, y'all let me out. Da, 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 da.
Right. And like, they're kind of playing off of what Kanan and Ghost said in the last episode. Like, do you trust him? Do you think they have Tommy's back? And Ghost is like, no. So Ghost is either right or very wrong.
Right. But Tommy is suspicious.
He's suspicious as well because how somebody that had life all of a sudden be able to get out of jail.
Right. And but Kanan did say. That was my situation. Like, I had life, and I got out. Right. So, you never know.
Right. Moving on, also in Tommy's situation, of course, he has hella drugs to move. And Kanan wants in on the business, of course. So, Kanan approaches him and says, you know, pretty much, you know, I'll help you move all these drugs. You know, like, we'll help you. We'll give you corner boys. Yeah. And Tommy's like, you know, of course, after the situation what he had, like in the last few episodes, he's like, man, upfront only.
Right. Like, you gotta pay me. Yeah. I ain't playing with you.
Right. And he was also looking to get his money clean so that, you know, he'd be able to help pay for the people who died. You know, he'd be able to pay his restitution to the families. So he was also trying to get with Ghost to see if he can clean the money through the club. And Ghost at first was like, yeah, you know, he's having issues with the club at the moment because Dre run the club right now. So, you know, they was like, we got to get back to the old things and stuff like that. So pretty much by the end, Ghost calls him back and was like, yeah, we could, you know, we got to find a way to clean the money because after Ghost lost his investor, he needs clean money as well. Right. So, you know, now they're both on the same pages with that as well. And, of course, Ghost got knocked back down into having to be heavily in the game.
Every time.
Like, it always happens. So, yeah, they have to work on that as well.
But Ghost told Tommy, look, I can't do this with you if you got Kanan working with you. I can't do it. And literally, as soon as he
hangs up the phone, Kanan
came in with the money. And Tommy's like, alright, you start tomorrow. Right. Just a mess.
Right. And just to piggyback off of, I mean, that's pretty much Tommy's mom shows back up for the first time this season, and she's like, yeah, Teresi wants something. There's no way that he's a devil. There's no way that he's not doing anything because he doesn't want anything. He's not that type of person. So be warned. So that was the another foreshadow warning.
Yeah, and just because his mama is a cokehead don't mean that she don't know what
she might be right, you know. So yeah, we definitely have to see where that's going to play in the next few episodes. But just going from Tommy, I'm gonna jump into Kanan. Yeah. And Kanan, of course, he has been trying to get into the drug gang. And he runs up on the guy that killed, the Toros Locos in the last episode. Well, he don't run into him. Run up on him. He runs into him.
2 bits. And they cool. So 2 bits like, oh, what's up?
Yeah, like, what you gonna holler at Drake? He's like, yeah, he tells him, like, yeah, Drake got this dude killed. Yeah. So you shouldn't trust him. And, he was telling him, like, about Cristobal and how Cristobal is the person that they think that the Jimenez like Cristobal more than they like Drake. He pretty much assesses more seeds of doubt. And Kanan's like, yeah, like, he forms a small truce, and they jacked Cristobal later on in the episode, because I'm pretty sure it was him.
Yeah, that's what it was. he got 2 bits to tell him where the drop was and where the little underground casino was. And so Kanan stuck him up in the back seat, popped the trunk, 2 bits, and what the boy name?
The other guy.
With the glasses. They came and took the money.
Third in command.
Right. Came and took the money, and boom, that was it. Right. And so that's the money he had to take the time in so he could get in and blah, blah, blah.
Right. So, pretty much next from that, because, I mean, that's pretty much Kanan's story.
But yeah, well, Kanan doing good. Like, the only motivation I feel like we have out of all the characters for the most part is Kanan. His is cut and dry. Like, I'm going to take down Tommy, I'm going to take down Dre, and I'm going to be at the top. And then boom. Like, that's his motivation. So he being conniving as he does.
As he does. Commen-Taters just being a snake. Pretty much. His story isn't like very lengthy. You know, he's just gonna find another way to control ghosts. But moving on to Angela and Dre, Angela has a very it's not a lot, but the lady that's been investigating, you know, the case and looking into Angela, she's building her case against Angela more and more in her head. Like she doesn't have proof yet, but she know Angela's involved because Angela's name keeps coming back up every time she's looking around.
Right, and she go talk to Angela again, and Angela's like, look, this is an open investigation. I would tell you stuff, but I can't tell you because it's an open investigation. And pretty much, Angela got tired of her ass, and Angela know that she getting closer and closer to figuring her out. So she gets the black FBI agent to get a subpoena or warrant or whatever to seize all of the information that the NYPD detective has on the Raymond Jones case.
Right.
So
and when they show up, she's like, "This is Agent Valdez. This is."
Well, no, it's on the warrant.
Yeah, like, but she was like, "Yeah, she has something to do with this."
And then
the guy was like, "Do you have any proof?" And she was like, "No." So he was like,
"Stay away from it, back."
Right. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Just took all the shit. So that's gonna come back. I just don't know how this lower level cop is gonna be able to touch a high ranking FBI agent.
But outside of that, also 2 other things really. One, Angela put together she put together everything to figure out that it was the lady that they've been trying to figure out who she is. Like, she's Menez's brother because her Menos, in Spanish.
In Spanish, they don't have a way to say siblings, so they don't have a way because in all other languages besides English, you got a feminine pronoun and you got a masculine pronoun.
When you talking about both of them, they use the masculine.
To masculine. So, that's how it works. So she's like, wait, because they was looking at the pictures and you know they be having their own security. It was like, but when she out by herself, she has security. But she can't just be some chick.
Right,
she gotta be a part of it. And then she was like, freaking she the other brother. So Angela is smart. She just do stupid things. Yeah.
That was pretty smart of how she figured that out. Like, she had
and then she's like, look, we got both of them in New York right now. So we got to deal with no type of, pushback from Mexico or whatever. Right. She was like, so we need to get our warrants together now and move in on them. So I guess we'll see that on next episode. Right. Also with Angela, they got some new dude from the DC
Latino
office.
Greg Brady.
Okay.
Like, I'm about to put a picture up. Just look at this picture. Does he not look like Greg Brady from the Brady Bunch?
Oh my God.
Look at him. So that's what I'm calling him. Look.
He bumped into her in the hallway at the office.
Yeah.
And they canoodled.
Yeah.
And then they canoodled.
Yeah.
My thing is, where he come from?
I don't know.
I be suspicious of all new characters.
How do you say coffee in Spanish? Leave that down in the comments below.
Cocoa bean. It come from Cuba.
Our friend that told us about the Latin voodoo.
Thank you.
Let us know about what's the Latino version.
Yeah, you told us about Santeria. Tell us about what that means.
Yeah, tell us what that means. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Yeah.
Whenever they knock the boots.
Right. So that happened. So Angela got her back crack too. And she got her little boot. Great.
Yeah.
So
Moving on to Dre.
Yeah. Poor Dre.
Yeah. Dre is just basically having his manhood challenged by
so
him
this
and his
episode
brother. It's
has been so
man.
funny because the same way that guys act when a woman don't want to have sex with them and don't want to mess with them, and so then after that they try to treat you bad and have an attitude with you. That's exactly what the Jimenez brother Diego is doing to Dre, because Dre ain't want to smash in front of him. That probably was going to turn into Diego trying to join in.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying? So he ain't want no parts of that. So now Diego treating him like crap. And you know it's because of that, because the previous episode they was chummy.
Yeah, like
they was cool. And now he is bad.
He is petty and he's bitter.
Yeah.
And you can tell like he's starting not to like Dre because Dre won't let him hit.
Yeah, like, it's literally what that is.
You know.
So then he and not stupid ass 2-Bit back to him. So pretty much they brought the 718 leader, the new leader in there, and he talking to Diego and blah blah blah, and he's like, so you killed Lorenzo? And he said, yeah, I killed him. So 2-Bit's making faces.
Of course, like he's upset because he's not getting the credit.
He's not getting the credit.
But in the last episode, Dre is literally saying, bruh,
we don't need this to come back to us.
We don't
need
no
our black ass, dumb.
Right, we don't need to start a war.
He can kill his own people. 718, they can kill their own people, okay? They have to handle their stuff in their little mini organization, even though they work under our bigger organization. Just like we work under the Jimenez bigger organization. He got levels, bro. Right. Levels. You don't want to be a part of that. Because then you're going to have Lorenzo's whole little crew / family coming to kill you and
you lost your corner. Like, yo, like you losing a whole part of your organization.
Yes.
And starting wars within yourself. So, with that being said, like, Diego is having this man
clean house. Like, look, you got Lorenzo people left over. They ain't getting on board. You need to show me how you handle business since you knew. And so he was like, all right, cool. Yeah, come meet up with him. And Dre like, why you need to go meet with them? He was like, because I could go do what the fuck I want to do.
Yeah,
you ain't going to Dre. You ain't about to tell me what I can do and who I can talk to. And then Diego getting all cool with Cristobal, which I feel like is more of a cultural thing. Yeah. I feel like you gonna be more comfortable.
Yeah, they have all these Latinos and
he speaks Spanish to him.
And you black. And Dre then he like chummy, like he's definitely getting like, he like, yeah, what y'all niggas talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all niggas need subtitles. That was so racist.
Oh, was it?
That was racist.
And then he was telling, whenever they did go meet with the 718, he had them all lined up.
Yeah.
Oh boy, shot all of them. But before that, Dre kept chiming in because he didn't want the new leader to mess up, because he know that he ain't really killed him.
Yeah.
And then Diego's like, why you keep answering questions that ain't directed towards you? And then he told the other guy in Spanish, like, he's so obnoxious. Yeah. Like, he's so mad at Dre, like...
Yeah, like, he's, like, that's... And also...
And then he said to Dre, I don't know how you get my sister pussy so wet when you can't get my dick hard.
And Dre's like, man, I ain't even trying to do that. Man, what you talking about?
Your sister. And he was like, you better not mess with my sister. I'm like,
that was funny.
What? Like, what is going on, bro?
That was funny. So you could tell, like, the way that they had, like, the dude shooting, and I feel like Diego might be trying to see if he's lying, because, like, the dude was 100% willing to do it.
Yeah.
But he had looks on his face when he had to do it. So it's like,
hesitation. You
right.
know.
So that might play into it in the future, because Diego might feel like anybody, if I tell you to kill somebody, you just blah. You just blah, blah, blah.
And then Diego told Dre that Cristobal gonna be your number 2.
Right.
Well, blah, blah, blah. I don't care.
Right.
Cristobal gonna be your number 2.
So Cristobal is number 2, so Dre can handle the international accounts or whatever.
Right.
So he dubs him number 2 in front of the rest of the crew, and the rest of the crew is not necessarily happy with it, but they just like rolling with it, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you can see the split, cause not 2-Bit and Glasses guy, whatever. They like. Okay,
so they wanted to be second
he then he then took our positions. He then gave old boy credit for a crime that we committed, and now like we just getting knocked further and further and further down. So that's really just gonna feed into Kanan's plan, which it kind of already did.
It already is.
Because they helped him set up Cristobal before it was even made official that Cristobal was number 2. So, old boy 2-Bit and his homeboy, they definitely gonna flip on Dre. I just don't know how far it's gonna take it. I don't know if it's gonna lead to Dre dying, is what I'm saying.
Right.
I feel like it's gonna lead to they stupid ass dying, but whatever. Alright, so that was it for the whole episode. But before we go, we want to read a couple of comments from the last episode. Just some of the best ones that we saw.
We've been getting some like good comments, and we just want to highlight some of them because it's like, they've been pretty fire, you know? And we really appreciate like the comments that we've been getting, and we want to just highlight them so the rest of you guys can see what we are seeing.
Yeah.
So, definitely get like more of the, theories rolling in, because I mean, I've been liking them, man.
I've been liking them too.
I've been learning stuff.
Y'all got some good theories.
Yeah. First, this one comes from Angel Wood. She said if Tariq doesn't tie up the loose ends with Destiny, she's going to blow the cage wide open.
Yes.
Without Cousin Ray Ray around to pay her bills, she'll be gunning for that reward money. That
is a fact. So, we learned from Detective Bianca, that's her name?
I don't know.
Whatever. The NYPD.
Angela's rival.
Yeah. So, we learned from her that since Ray Ray, he's missing to them, but, pretty much he dead. Yeah. So, you're going to get his pension. Granted, pension money is like, retirement money for cops and stuff like that.
So you only still get
so she's still going to get something, but we don't know how long he was a cop for. We don't know how much that is.
Right.
So really, and then she young, so she probably going to blow through the money versus knowing how to like spread it out over time. So I was thinking about Destiny this morning. Like I was telling him when we was watching it.
Also, one thing we were thinking about is the fact that Tariq was smashing Destiny. Yeah. So she could end up pregnant.
She could end up pregnant.
Like she could end up being a bigger part because
she could feel, even if she don't end up pregnant, like she could just feel played. Like I helped you with stuff. Like she had told him different stuff, even though Ray reversed it and made her help set him up. But still, you know what I'm saying? Like, she could reach back out to Tariq. Or she could just start popping up.
She could reach back. Well, I feel like her being pregnant will be her reason to reach back out because Tariq, if he does go to this boarding school, he was still going and she knew. Yeah. And that's why he ended up with her phone. Right. Because she was supposed to see Tariq and
before he left.
Yeah. So that's my theory is that she'll end up pregnant and Tariq may have to come back home for that. Right. So that's a good one.
But she is the last person that got the knowledge of their connection. So that's a perfect comment.
Our partner HB Classic, he's been hanging in the
for the longest.
Just want to point this. He said Dre partner and the Jimenez brother will die. I do feel like that, but I'm not sure how. Dre probably gonna end up taking out the partner and the Jimenez brother because the Jimenez brother just keeps trying to smash Dre. So I feel like he's gonna try to get Dre in like a small room and then try to really go with his move. He might try to lock down Dre, right? And then Dre just be like, I ain't with this, so he just go ahead and kill him. Because if he doesn't kill him, he probably just gonna keep trying to smash him until he do.
Or the Jimenez brother might get popped by the feds.
They on his trail now.
They on his trail. That he might get popped by them because the Jimenez brother's not just about to let them arrest them.
That's true. Yeah, they're not going to go down real
I'm not going to just let you arrest me. You have to work for this arrest. So it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah, I can see
that. That's what I can see.
Next, Angie will help Proctor before it's over. Because
I don't know if Proctor going to take Angela.
Because Silver testimony will bite him. So, I feel like that scene from the last one, like, there's a lot. Because I do agree, like, Proctor may not want Angie's help, but just like, you said, like we were talking about earlier, when you're desperate, ain't no telling what you'll do when you're desperate.
Or she might do some behind the scenes help that he don't know about, and then he end up owing her without even knowing that he owe her.
That's true. And I want to point out that Silver wasn't in this episode at all.
But Proctor was. Him and Tommy met up. We didn't mention it, but him and Tommy met up. Because Tommy was trying to find out the legitimacy of Teresi getting out. And Proctor told him that it was on the up and up. So.
Next from Raina Keys. If Kana is Tariq's daddy, then in the season 7, he will kill Ghost if Kanan tells him to.
Okay, so with that theory, I'm happy that was brought up because recently on social media, I'm happy that comment was brought up because on social media, you know, it's been floating around that Kanan could be their dad. Well, Courtney Kemp said to somebody like, hey, y'all need to stop this rumor because he is not their dad. Like, James is their father. Now, with that being said, one, I feel like Courtney Kemp, shut up. If people speculating about your show, be happy about it.
That mean they watching.
That mean they watching. When people speculate about movies, you know what I'm saying? You know how many Marvel movie speculations you can find? A crap ton. Because people care about your movie.
Right. It's so many speculations. That's why we haven't been speculating, because it's so many more theories that come out every week about stuff like that.
Right. So it's like be happy about it. People watching, people talking about it, they excited. Now, my opinion is this. I am on board with Kanan being their dad. And I'm not going to change my opinion on that just because she said that he ain't. Because I feel like what really happened is we figured her out. And so now she mad and she want to clear it up so we can get off of that. You know what I'm saying? And so she could be rewriting the script for next season as we, you know what I'm saying, as we speak, because like crap, they done figured it out, so now we got to do something else.
Right.
Because, you know, blah, blah, blah. But you know, whatever. I'm still sticking with it. We won't bring it up again.
Because we've been brought this up. Like,
since last season.
This is a theory that ain't new to us.
Yeah, so, well, you know, whatever. But what do y'all think? Do y'all still think that Kanan is the dad to Raina and Tariq? I'm here for it.
Don't forget Raina too.
Yeah, because they're twins.
They're twins.
So that's the thing now. Look. Alright. Last thing. We're going to be doing a new show.
Yeah, we're going to be picking up Snowfall.
Yes, I asked a question on our last video. If there's any shows that you guys would like us to review. And someone,
Angel Wood. That's our new partner.
Okay, because she was in the comments.
Yeah,
okay?
right.
Angel Wood told us to do Snowfall. We did not watch last season, but we will binge watch it. Because,
heard a lot of good things.
Yeah, because the season premieres this Thursday, which means our reviews will be up on Fridays. So we're excited for it. I've heard a lot of good things about the show, and it's another, you know.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about the show. We just haven't picked it up yet.
Yeah, it's like a young '80s, you know, drug show in LA or whatever. Drug shows. So it's cool because it's a different time frame and it's a different coast. Because right now with Power, we on the East Coast. Now we're gonna go to the West Coast.
Right. What's some South shows at?
What's some South shows? At? I mean,
and Cloak and Dagger. It is New Orleans. That's the closest to home that we got. But outside of that, yeah, we'll start doing the Snowfall reviews.
Right.
Pretty excited about that. If you like our review,
like it,
subscribe.
Okay.
Also, you know, got any shout outs?
I don't know if I got any shout outs.
I want to shout out our partner Myron, aka Potato Head. He always showing his love. He hadn't been here. That's because he's busy. And he lives on the other side of town. So
booked and busy, honey.
Yeah, man. We're not going to make that man waste gas.
Just to come do this review for us.
Also, I want to shout out to my people at the Off the Real podcast. My cousins.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all go check that out on SoundCloud, iTunes. Make sure you check out the Hotspot podcast as well.
Yeah.
SoundCloud, iTunes, wherever you listen to your podcast stuff.
Right.
And if you like our videos, share it with a friend.
Yeah.
If you hate our videos, share it with an enemy.
Okay.
We'll be back next week with the Power Recap.
Well, and we'll be back before that for Snowfall.
Yeah. Make sure you stay tuned, man. Stay tuned.
Thank y'all so much for the support.
Yeah.